Good afternoon, I hope everyone's well today. I want to thank you for participating in a poll that I put out on the channel yesterday, asking whether you think that lot are going to be folded into reform at some point. The majority of people on the poll seem to think that it will happen, and I agree. Thank you for the engagement and thank you for taking part. It is appreciated. It's also appreciated if you like and subscribe to the channel. Only about 20% of my viewers are actually subscribed. It's a click to you, it means the world to me. Every subscriber matters and it's very much appreciated, so thank you. Consider doing that now. Plug over. I wanted to talk about that lot and Reform UK and when I think it's going to happen. There's a 5-point plan that I think Reform are working to. It's not going to be specifically the points that they're going to be doing, but it's the way they're probably going to be working it. And I wanted to go through with you today. I'll get my words out eventually. Point number 1, get the based or dry Tories out of the Tory party. Bring them over. Andrew Jenkins is one. Tim Montgomery is one. Suella Braverman's husband is another. And then you've got the donors. Nick Candy, who was a Tory supporter and now he's moved over to Reform. And that's point number 1. He's also going to be bringing in money and he's going to be the treasurer for Reform. That's step number 2, bring in the funding, the big money. We've got Nigel, Nick Candy over in Florida today on manoeuvres with Elon Musk. That would be interesting to be a fly on the wall at that meeting. That's number 2, step number 2, bring in the money. Step number 3, make another offer to the Tories, defect will be destroyed, politically speaking, before the local elections. If Keir Starmer, 2-tier Keir, 3-gear Keir, no mates Keir, decides to let them go ahead. That's step number 3, okay? Normally, in a local election, Labour's just won a loveless landslide. You would expect all the Tory councillors to lose their seats, or majority of them, and you'd flip over to Labour. That's not going to happen because of the ineptitude of the Labour Party. They weren't ready to be in government, and every decision they've made proves this. And they're not going to stay, the voters aren't going to stay with Tories either. This is where Reform UK comes in. I think they're going to clean house next year if the elections go ahead. That's point number 3. Point number 4, replace the Tories in Holyrood and the Welsh Assembly as the right-wing party. The smart money is on Reform taking the Senate. It really is at this point. They could come 2nd or 3rd in Holyrood. I'm banking on 3rd. I've got subscribers that think they're going to do much better than that. You know Scotland better than me if you're in Scotland. I think 3rd's a safe bet at this point. Good luck to them. The priority is to replace the Tories, replace them in Scotland, and win the Welsh elections. That's step number 4. Step number 5 is when you bring in that lot before the next election. That is my opinion. You could even see potentially UKIP and Homeland Party and Reclaim and the Heritage Party all fold in behind Reform UK to get over the line. And that is when you bring the ground game. And when I say ground game, I mean all the people not usually inclined to vote. People who watch Paul Thorpe's channel. People who go on Tommy marches. I went on a march last year, or earlier this year even, and it was a really good experience. I'm not particularly thuggish, I've never been in a fight, I'm not really prone to violent outbursts or anything like that, so to categorise anybody on these marches as far-right thugs was the biggest mistake that Keir Starmer has made so far. And that is when you bring in the ground game. And that is when you unite the right to at the last possible opportunity. You've already got Labour types like Harriet Harman going on TV, shouting her mouth off, saying that Nigel Farage is essentially Tommy Robinson. That's hysterical. That really is funny. And she does it because she's breaking it. And to be fair, I would be breaking it if I was Labour as well. London elite bubble is over. Reform is the way forward, in my opinion. Now, comment below if you think I'm wrong. Let me know if you think I'm right. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one. You have a good evening.